Hello everyone and welcome to my video tutorial. What I'm going to explain to you today is how to make this bucket bag in my hand. Inside this is a magnetic buckle. So, let's see some of the materials we received. This is the watch cloth. This is a pattern cloth. The watch cloth includes a long strip and the sides of the two edges. And then there are a few little strips on it. These are watch cloths. And then there's a bottom cloth. And the bottom of this bag is also this watch cloth. So much for the watch cloth. And now look at this rib. Rib as well, including a long strip, two sides, and a pocket cloth. There are 14 pieces in the rib, plus a base plate. A base plate, a set of bottom nails, and for pacifier nails. There are also for magnetic buckles. Then there are two more straps of this bag, and a small screwdriver, needle and thread, and a tassel. Now we start to make. First we take out the watch cloth. And then cut out these little strips. Just leave a 1 centimeter seam here. The rid of this one is trimmed down. Next, we will put this. Put these for small strips on top of this watch cloth. When trimming the side seams, each side, just leave 1 centimeter of seam. The rest will be trimmed off. Trim all the seams on this watch for him. Just fix it into a 1 centimeter seam. Sew them together. Let's pay attention when sewing. This little square watch cloth. This watch cloth has a knife edge at one end. There is no knife edge here. Our little strip, it is sewn together with this one without a knife edge. Sew them together. The next section is slightly larger. There's a cut underneath. You can distinguish this cut. Then sew it up like this. And then there's another piece of the same thing. Sew him on the side without the cut. This big watch cloth is sewn on both sides with small strips. When sewing, we always align the lining of the large watch cloth and the small strip. And align it on one side and on both sides. And so are these two. These little strips is sewn on it. These the small strips have been sewn to the 3 watch cloths. This long strip of watch cloth has cuts on it. This is the cut in the middle on both sides of the watch cloth. Let's mark it on the watch cloth. We take this piece. Well, it's also the one that ironed this lining. This fabric. It's the same color as this bag mouth. There are also 2 cuts on this fabric. These 2 cuts are aligned with these 2 cuts. We also mark it, then turn over. It's easier to see the markings. Line the cuts up like this. This side, with this lining. The edges of the 2 linings should be aligned. Can't exceed too much. The 2 layers are aligned. Just center these 2 sides. Exactly in the center, then fold this seam in. The seam on this side also folds inward. Like this. Just press a line on these 2 sides for it. And we took out the cloth. First we put this hole. Mark these the holes on the watch cloth. You can punch holes with a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can use scissors or something. Mark this hole. The positions of these footholds are for installing foot nails. Now let's align these two cuts. The seam here folds inward. The seam here also folds inward. This edge should be aligned with the hard lining inside the lower edge. Then sew these two sides of it. Okay, there's a line on each side of it. Then fix these two sides too. These two edges. Sew it a thread in this position. Sew it a thread here too. Then these two slices. Sew a thread on each one. The stitch is about 2 millimeters long, the same as this one. Okay, after all the threads on this back math are sewn, we're going to sew these 3 washcloths together now. These are the 3 washcloths. This brown washcloth has been punched with 4 holes before. We also punched the washcloth on the lower layer, according to the position of the holes in the brown washcloth. Use a hole punch to make the holes in the bottom layer of cloth. We can install the foot nails in the position of the 4 holes. Our package foot nails do not need to be installed on the base plate. The base plate is not punched. Let's install the foot nails first. And then we sew it to the side. It will be more convenient to install this way. What about this bottom? Because this bottom is according to the size of this outside to mark the position of this foot nail. So the base plate is different from his size. So if you punch holes in the base plate, its appearance is not beautiful enough. Okay, this foot stud is already installed. Now let's sew this side up. When sewing on the side, it is marked to mark like this. Then align the sides of the 2 layers of cloth. This port on the side is also aligned. Fix it with a clip first. Then put it here. Then turn again. When turning, we can make a cut in a layer of cloth below in this position. The cut cannot be cut too deep. Make a cut on the side. Then turn around. This center point should be aligned with the center point on this side. Turn around here like this. When turning around, make a little cut on the lower layer, here. It makes it easier for him to abduct. Then put it on this like this. Align this mouth. Fix it with a clip. Put it here like this. It should be noted that the lining on this side should be aligned with the lining on this side. Same operation on all sides. Same operation here and there. I will continue to sew. Now, sew it up and show it to everyone. Okay, the washcloth of this bag has been sewn up. After the sewing is done, we will trim these side seams. If it exceeds 1 centimeter, trim it for him. And then we flip this over to the front. Push out the four corners of the bag. Then tidy up the four corners of the bag. The washcloth is ready. Next is the lining. Before making a rib. Before making the lip, we first deal with the position of the magnetic buckles on these lip. You can mark the hard lining of the lining with scissors. Use scissors to penetrate the lining and position the magnetic buckle. And then there are 4 holes in this long strip. This is the hole for the pacifier nail. We can use an awl or a hole punch to punch out these 4 holes in the long cloth at the marked positions. The positions of these 4 holes are used to install the pacifier nails. Trim the side seams of all the linings to 1 cm side seams. This is a pocket cloth. First sew up its pocket cloth. First sew up the 2 sides of the pocket cloth. Make sure the width of the side seams is the same. Roll both sides of the pocket cloth, one side twice. Roll both the upper and lower sides of the pocket cloth, twice on each side. After the pocket cloth is sewn, find the seam pocket on this long strip of lining. There is a cut in this position. So the bottom is the bottom of the bag. This is the height. This pocket. Do not go more than below this cut. Let's fold this side over here. Here is the print that was just folded. The bottom of the pocket should not exceed the mark just folded. Then arrange it flat like this, with symmetry on both sides. Just sew a thread on the lower part of this pocket cloth and fix it to the lining like this. And I'm going to wire these 2 sides to the lining. Okay, this pocket is already sewn. Then note that the height of this pocket cannot exceed the position of the magnetic buckle. Now let's sew the 2 sides together. When we sew the side, it is also the same as the washcloth. We start by finding the center of this cut. There will be a cut in this place later. Just press the cut. The position of the magnetic buckle is above, and here's where the stitching is. There will also be a cut at this later stage. This is center to center. Align the liners and mouths from above. Then when sewing here in this place, Give him a cut on the lower layer as well. Turn the cloth around. This center is aligned. The sewing method of the lining is the same as that of the washcloth. Sew it this way and turn it. It should be noted that when sewing to this position, this mouth must be aligned. The mouth on the foot sides must be aligned, because there is a position of the magnetic buckle on it, so they can't have highs and lows. The mouth and lining of the lining should be aligned, all center points aligned. Okay, these two sides have been sewn into the lining of the long strip. Now I'm going to trim this extra seam. When sewing before, there's a cut here. This corner, there's a cut at every turn. You don't need to make the cut too deep. Just leave 1 centimeter wide on the side seam. Now we put the magnetic clasp on. There are 4 pairs of magnetic buckles in total. And then we turn it on. Now let's distinguish the front, rear, left and right of the magnetic buckle. The front and rear are like this long strip. The 2 sides are the left and right of the magnetic buckle. Install the magnetic buckle now. Install the same magnetic buckle on each side, like the 2 installed on this side are relatively thin magnetic buckles. Install thin magnetic buckles on both sides of the long lip. Break it apart and fix it like this. The other side also installs the magnetic buckle in this way. The other 4 magnetic buckles are installed on the 2 sides. All 4 are the same. It's one of those concave magnetic buckles. This magnetic buckle is a little thicker. The magnetic buckles are installed. This pair of magnetic buckles grabs like this. These pacifier nails are installed and used to hang the handle. There are still a few pacifier nails that need to be installed. Let's use a screwdriver to unscrew the screw on the pacifier first. This pacifier nail is used to hang the handle. This strip has the holes that have been punched on it for installing pacifier nails. Guard this screw through the reverse side. Then just tighten it like this. Then just tighten it like this. The other two sides also use the same method to install the pacifier nails. Now these little metal fittings are installed. Now we're going to tuck it into this watch cloth. Before tucking the rib into the watch cloth, put the base plate in. Just put the base plate at the bottom of this. Now you can stuff the inner bag into the outer bag. We should pay attention when plugging this. Then this is also divided into a front and rear. We stuff it in. Then press down hard with your hands. Make it stick to its bottom. Now, let's sew it. Open the seam inside this one. This watch cloth is also sewn and folded inward when opened. We can fix the bag mouth with the help of some small clips. After it is fixed, it is convenient to sew the bag mouth. Sew the one evenly. We clip it. Align it with each seam. We align the lining of this bag and the edge of the watch cloth. The lining cannot exceed the watch cloth. Press down hard after alignment. Make it fit perfectly to that bottom. The lining and the watch cloth should be the same height. We align these for slits for him as well. Then we sew around like this. Let's press the inside down as much as possible. The lining should be slightly lower than the watch cloth. And we use this stitch wrapping technique the whole time. This bag has been sewn upward with a long needle. This bag has been finished. Okay, now we're going to take this bag to and hang it up. It's on this pacifier nail. Then when it closes it, it's like this. Press this button like this. And then there's a little tassel for it to hang. Then the bag has been made.